Nearly 10% of all dreams include sex. Sex dreams aren't just the territory of horny teenage boys. In fact, nearly 1 in 10 dreams contain some R-rated sexual content. And that's true for both men and women, according to a study published by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. There were some gender differences though. Women were more likely to have sex dreams about politicians, celebrities, or their exes, while men were more likely to dream about having sex with multiple partners at once. Women get erections too. Women actually get erections in their genitals, and even though they're smaller than the male counterpart, they are just as important, says Sadie Allison, DHS, a sexologist, founder of TickleKitty.com and author of Tickle His Pickle, Your Hands-On Guide to Penis Pleasing. The clitoris is made up of the same spongy erectile tissue as the penis, which expands and engorges with blood when aroused, she explains. You can observe this. Just look at your clitoris or touch it when you're aroused and it will be bigger. 3% of people have no sexual fantasies at all. Think you're a freak for thinking about freaky stuff? Nope. Even though most people don't talk about it, fully 97% of us have sexual fantasies, according to Justin Lamler, PhD, a research fellow at the Kinsey Institute, and author of a study on sexual fantasies and the book Tell Me What You Want, The Science of Sexual Desire, and how it can help you improve your sex life. The vast majority say they fantasize somewhere between several times per week and several times per day. Really, the surprising part is that there are some people who report zero sexual fantasies. A headache may actually make you more in the mood. Contrary to the popular cliche, not tonight, I have a headache, one study found that not all headache sufferers avoid sexual activity. In fact, migraine sufferers reported higher levels of sexual desire, according to the research done by the Wake Forest University School of Medicine and colleagues. Why? Our study suggests that sexual desire and migraine headaches may be influenced by the same brain chemical, said Timothy Houle, PhD, lead author and research assistant professor of anesthesiology. The clitoris is way bigger than you think it is. In addition to the part of the clitoris you can see, there's a much larger part, called the clitoral-urethral vaginal complex, underneath the skin that also engorges with arousal, says Stella Harris, certified intimacy educator and sex coach and author of Tongue-Tied, Untangling Communication in Sex, Kink, and Relationships. When a woman is aroused, the vaginal canal also lengthens as the uterus is pulled further upward into the body, the angle often changing as well. Not only is this fascinating, but it's one of the reasons that waiting for full arousal means having more pleasurable sex. Sex is best when your body is ready, she says. Want an orgasm? Leave your socks on. Forget lingerie. If you want to increase your chance of having an orgasm, keep your socks on during sex, says research done by the University of Groningen. No one is sure exactly why this works, but one theory is that in order to orgasm, you need to be totally relaxed and anxiety-free, and cold feet can interfere with the ability to really get into sex, especially for women, says Fran Walfish, PhD, psychotherapist and author. A big penis won't stretch out or ruin a vagina. A weirdly popular myth circulating on the internet these days is that having too much sex or having sex with a large partner or toy can stretch out a woman's vagina or labia, resulting in ugly roast beef flaps. Ridiculous, says Harris. The vaginal canal is a muscle and does not permanently stretch from having accommodated a large penis or toy, she explains. The vagina is incredibly resilient and bounces back quickly. Also, the shape and size of the labia are unique to each woman and are not indicative of her sexual status or history. The G-spot exists, except it doesn't. G-spot is a misnomer, as what we consider the spot isn't a discrete anatomical entity, Harris says. Instead, it's an area of the urethral sponge that is highly sensitive for many people. But bodies and arousal are complex, and there's no surefire technique, or even erogenous zone, that works for everyone. So basically you may have a spot you identify as the G-spot, but it isn't a spot and it won't work the same for every woman. We're talking about sex more but having it less. Sex is mentioned in the media more than ever before, but that's not translating to more sexy times. Americans in relationships reported having sex 16 fewer times per year from 2010 to 2014 compared to 2000 to 2004, according to a 2017 study. It gets worse. Folks in the 2000 to 2004 group were already having sex about 9 fewer times per year in 2010 to 2014 compared to 1995 to 1999. In a previous study, we found that the happiness of adults over age 30 declined between 2000 and 2014, adds TK. With less sex and less happiness, it's no wonder that American adults seem deeply dissatisfied these days. The average person's sexual peak is the same age they can rent a car. Okay, so that's definitely a correlation, not a causation, but the average American will have the most sex around age 25, according to the study. They found that people in their 20s have sex more than 80 times per year, declining to 60 times per year by age 45, and 20 times per year by age 65. Each year after the peak of sexual frequency at 25, sexual frequency declines 3.2%. Make sure you don't fall victim to this new totally unsafe sex trend. When it comes to pleasure, penis girth is more important than length. Many men like to compare the length of their penises, but the only people who really care about that number are other men. The vagina mainly is covered in stretch mechanoreceptors, which means that girth is a more important aspect of the penis for women, on average, explains Nicole Praz, PhD, a sexual physiology researcher at the University of California, Los Angeles, and licensed psychologist. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon.